correct, Chris. In 2004, I was the Chief Master at Arms on board the USS Princeton, and the technology that we witnessed with the Tic Tac was something that we would not have been able to defend our forces against at the time.
Help me understand that. As the uninitiated, what does that mean to us?
Well, sir, that means that what we saw in the Tic Tac and what Mr. Luis Elizondo describes as the 5 observables indicate a technology that outstrips our arsenal by at least 100 to 1,000 years at the moment.
100 to 1,000 years. So, meaning, like, what kind of technology was at play that you were able to identify it but know that you can't match it?
Well, first of all, the aircraft had 0 control surfaces. It had no means of propulsion that we could detect. It moved at hypersonic velocities, and it preceded the pilots to their cap point. So it seemed to have some knowledge of where the pilots were headed ahead of time, and we don't possess those abilities to do that in our arsenal at the moment. So I hesitate to speculate on the source, but I can tell you that I don't believe that this is within our arsenal of any human technology at the moment.
So when you say that, it almost guarantees that not just your good looks, but that statement will get this picked up and sent all over the internet, because there'll be a legit military person saying that maybe this is from outer space.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders. A great millstone rule, well, many great examples to young brothers in the truth. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. And as you seen in the clip in the beginning, you know, you had a U.S. personnel say that the technology, and it's way more advanced than what the fuck he said, that those chariots, the chariots of the Lord, possess are 100 to 1,000 years more advanced than their technology. And it's way more advanced than it. You know, because ultimately the Lord gave you the spirit to the Lord created your scientists and your smiths and all these different people that you have that build these helicopters and tanks and guns. The Lord created those people for you to build yourself up, you know, build up powerful, so he can come take you out of power, man. You know, so the technology that these devils, all the nations have, is from the Lord, man. You know, the Lord put it in their idea to make helicopters and submarines and tanks, you know, airplanes, bombers, you know, drones. The Lord put it in your spirit to create all this stuff. You know, so why? Ultimately, so he can come back and destroy all of it, man. The scriptures say he raised you up for the same reason he raised up the Pharaoh, man. You know, king of Egypt, man, and America and your Esau rulership is likened unto the Egyptian rulership. Is likened unto is compared with Egypt in the scriptures. You know, we know Egypt ultimately is America, Babylon the Great. Like Revelation 11 and 8 say that dead body shall lay in that great city, which is spiritually called Sodom in Egypt, and that's talking about America. But let's get into it, cause Esau ain't got nothing. None of the other nations, as the man said, has nothing that can deal with the chariots of the Lord, man. You know. But they gonna fight, you know. So let's get this precept. This Isaiah chapter 31 and verse 1. It say, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horses because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. You know, so they ain't looking forward to the Heavenly Father coming back and delivering us, defending us, you know, and getting us up out of out of this captivity. They not looking for that. What they trusting in is Biden, you know, Trump, you know, some crazy shit. The U.S. military, all this old other bullshit. No, man. Woe unto you who run down to Egypt for help, man. medicine, man. You know, they trust in the science and all that old bullshit. They don't trust in the Lord. It say, yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his word. It say, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against them that help them that work iniquity. Yeah, Lord, the evildoer ultimately is Esau, Edom, and them they help them. You Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and the rest of you heathens, they help these motherfuckers. You in trouble, and ultimately all the heathens help Esau. You know, and you niggas who want to join yourself in that bunch, ultimately you ain't had no choice but that you niggas that joined yourself into that bunch through your lot, you gonna be punished. Verse 3 it say, now the Egyptians are men and not God, but their horses are flesh and not spirit. When the Lord, see, they horses are flesh and not spirit, so these they can't do the things that the chariots can do and never will be able to. It say, and when the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth and he both he that helpeth both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they shall fall, and they shall fail together. And ultimately, that's what's gonna happen. It say, for thus hath the Lord spoken unto me. It say, like as the lion and the young lion roaring on his prey, when a multitude of shepherd is called forth against him, he will be afraid. He will not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. It say, so shall the Lord of hosts come down to fight for Mount Zion and for the hill thereof. You know, so the Lord is coming back to fight these devils, man. For who? His nation, man. Ultimately the elect on this side. And ultimately the whole nation, really, because they gonna be born back into the kingdom through the loins of the elect. It say, as birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending it, he will also deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. It say, turn ye unto him from whom the children of Israel have deeply revolted. It's It say, for in the day every man shall cast away his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which your own hands have made unto you for a sin. It say, then shall the Assyrian fall with the sword, not of a mighty man, not the sword, not of a mighty man, and the sword, not of a mean man, shall devour him. It say, but he shall flee from the sword, and his young men shall be discomforted. It say, and he shall pass over to his stronghold for fear, and his princes shall be afraid of the ensign, saith the Lord Yahweh. It say, whose fire is in Zion and his furnace in Jerusalem. So the Lord is gonna pay these devils back, man. You know, the Lord say he gonna discomfort his young men. Discomfit. Discomfit. What do discomfort mean? The Lord finna embarrass you. It say discomfort. Make someone feel uneasy or embarrassed, man. The Lord is gonna embarrass you devils, man. Because the horses that the Lord had, the chariots of the Lord, are spirit and not flesh, man. You know. But let me read verse 3 again. It say, now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses flesh and not spirit. You know, and that's pretty much the point. It say, when the Lord will stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that hoping shall fall down, and and they all shall fail together. And that's ultimately what's gonna happen to these people. They're gonna fail, man, miserably when the Lord returns. So we really, at the end of the day, man, the point being, we ain't got nothing to worry about, man. Lord willing, we're a part of that number. Lord willing, the Lord have mercy upon us, and and we are not only called but chosen and deliver us. We ain't got nothing to worry about. Nothing. This 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 16, it say, and he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. It say, and Elisha prayed and said, Lord, Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes, that he may see. And the Lord Yahweh opened his eyes, and the young man, and opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. It say, and when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto Yahweh, the Lord Yahweh, and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the words of Elisha, man. So Elisha, through the power of prayer and belief and faith, he did a miracle, man. He made the young man who with him eyes be open to where he could see the chariot. Then he smote that army with blindness, man. Through what? The chariots of the Lord, man. Say the horses, to go to show you that that one verse in right here where it say now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses flesh and not spirit. Just going into this one because it lets you know that the chariots is compared to horses, man. And horses are representative of power. So we have the Lord of hosts on our side, man. And it's millions and however, it's a lot of angels, man. And it's a lot of different chariots, and they gonna invade this man with his troops. The Lord's gonna invade America, man. I was gonna go into that, but I ain't gotta get it. I'm going into Egypt. In that scripture, Isaiah 31 is talking about a miracle, and how America is compared to Egypt. I quoted a couple scriptures, so I ain't got to get the other one. Edom and Egypt is connected. I might as well get it since I'm talking about it. I get this one. This Joel chapter 3 and verse 19, it say, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. So Egypt and Edom, ultimately a miracle, and the Edomites are in big trouble, man. They got to pay for what they did to the children of Israel. This Second Exodus chapter 13 and verse 1, it say, and it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, and that moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, a man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. And saying, after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. It say, but I beheld, and lo, he graved himself a great mountain that's going into the fathership. He gonna come back in, and flew up upon it. It say, but I would have seen the region or place whereout the heel was graven, and I could not. It saying, after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So, I want to say, if in that video he was saying that the chariots even knew where the pilots was gonna go before they made their moves. You know, before they made their move, the chariot already had it detected, so to speak. You know, the chariot already knew exactly what moves they were gonna make, maneuvers they were gonna make, and all that, man. So how can you fight against it? You know, they going different speeds you can't go, make turns you can't make. You know, and you ain't seen the weaponry yet that we know of. You know, Esau ain't no telling what the chariot be fucking up, and Esau the scene. You know. But they haven't, you know, they ain't brought nothing out that chariot destroyed this or that. But we know that the chariots, one chariot, destroy the whole earth, man. If that was the Lord's will. It say, and yet there's fight. It say, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one of them, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So the Lord is gonna fuck you devils up, man. The U.S. military, China military, Russian military, all these damn different military. Israeli military, Iranian military, African military, all these different militaries finna get fucked up, man. Canadian military. The Lord finna tear this bitch up, man. All y'all gonna join together and get y'all head toe out the frame, man. Nothing gonna be perceived but dust and the smell of smoke, man. And you know. Go to Blue Little. Get some more. This Revelation 1 and 7. Revelation 1 and 7. It reads, Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so among. You know, in the clouds, we know that's talking about the chariots, man. You know. Go get a little. This Habakkuk chapter 3 and verse 16, it say, when I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice, rottenness entered into my belly, entered into my bones, Salakia, I trembled in myself, that I might rest in the day of trouble. When he cometh up upon unto the people, he will invade them with his troops, man. So the Lord is coming back with the thousands of heaven, man. He gonna invade this place with his troops, man. The angels gonna get busy, and the Lord gonna get busy on you devils, man. The scriptures say, he will not meet thee as a man. The Lord ain't coming back as in this feeble flesh that we in to die again, man. No, he coming back to conquer, man. You know, the scriptures say, and the man came on a white horse going into the fathership, and he went forth conquering unto conquer, man. You know, that's what the Lord is coming back to do, to conquer, man. Take down kings, You know, all the kings of the earth, all these heathens, you know, Chinese, all these different motherfuckers, man, going head first into hardcore bondage, man. If they heathens, man, if they actual the other nations, they going into captivity. If you're an Israelite and don't want to convert, you gonna get put to death or bring them hither before me and slay them. And you heathens, you going your ass to work, man. You Israelites, you gonna be put to death and you gonna be born back in the kingdom in your right mind, man. You know, because the Lord, what the Lord gonna do? He gonna bring it back through the loins of the elect. And guess what? Every child of the elect, you know, every child of the nation of Israel, but you know, they children will have the laws in their inward part, man. You know, you'll never teach again. Teach no man roughs a paraphrase nor his neighbor, man. We ain't gonna teach each other in the kingdom how we doing now. Everybody gonna know the Lord, man. Everybody gonna know the law, man, of the nation of Israel, and we gonna enforce it rigorously on these heathen, and they gonna keep it fearfully, man. Cause if they bullshit one bit, we gonna judge their ass according to the law. You know, ain't going to court, motherfucker. Your ass gonna goddamn get brought to court on the spot and gonna hold this shit right here and come up with the solution to the problem. I mean, the judgment. What? Hold up. The consequences for your action, man. You know, you gonna come up with it, your judgment, gonna issue it at, and gonna keep on moving, man. Yeah, going back to work. You know, but that was pretty much the point. Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to end giving all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone rule where being a great example to the younger brothers in the truth. Peace and blessing to the hopefully lit. Where your drawers at? I mean, not your drawers, your shorts. Put your shorts on. Bring them here. Go get your shorts. Salaki. But that was the end of it. If I ain't said, I think I just said it. My son just threw me off. Lord, when this was edifying, I want to end it once again, giving all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone rule, web, and great example to his young brothers in the truth. And peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah and Abba Baba. Shalom.